Hey everybody, welcome back to Durbin's Bourbon. I'm Joe.
And I'm Josh.
Today we're doing a special release. It's coming out today for y'all. This is a momentous date. What is this date, you ask?
I don't know, Joe. What is it?
It is the date that the Bottle and Bond Act was signed into law. That happened in 1897, March 3rd to be exact. So, what is the Bottle and Bond Act? Many of you already know, so I'll do a brief description of what it is. The Bottle and Bond Act was created because back in the day, whiskey was adulterated. Prior to that, people would put tobacco juice. They would put straight whiskeys that were not aged at all, just white whiskey, moonshine as it were, and they would adulterate it with tobacco juice, acid, toxic wood alcohols, methanol, and then they would put that out for people to drink, and they would claim it to be bourbon or aged whiskey. It looked like it, however, it was not, and people were getting sick. So this is how important whiskey was to our growing country. The Bottle and Bond Act had to do all about the proof in advertising for whiskey. It didn't happen to food. It happened to whiskey first.
Right, whiskey first. That's my favorite.
Food came second, and that's the Pure Food
Dude, those
and
were hard
Drug
times
Act.
back then, bro.
It was.
Yeah, that's a rough day's
And
work
so,
every day.
You have the 1897 Bottle and Bond Act, and then you have the Pure Food and Drug Act of 1907. Was it? Yeah. 1907 was when the Pure Food and Drug Act, so they cared about food a little less than whiskey.
Same. I feel the same way.
I do too.
I love food too, obviously. But.
So for the Bottle and Bond, it is a federal guideline that lays out what is required for a product to be Bottle and Bond. It has to be one distillation year, and those distillation years are January to June or July to December. So one of those distillation periods, one distillery has to be bottled at 100 proof, has to be aged in a federally bonded warehouse, which means they had federal agents that would come when they would pop the bung after 4 years, and they would gauge it and see. They would have federal agent there measuring how much alcohol came out of that barrel so that no employees were having a little tipple, if you know what I mean.
Hold on a second. Do you hear that ringing?
Yes.
Is it from the TV?
No, it's from the refrigerator.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Thought I was going crazy. I just was like,
so
sorry to interrupt.
That goes into the severity of how serious the Bottle and Bond Act. And we have the two showcase whiskeys up here. There's many more in this lineup. We just can't get them. There's a tornado surviving one when Buffalo Trace got hit by a tornado and they survived a bunch of bottles and bottled it. Yeah, it's super rare. I've been trying to get it. But this is a single barrel, and we have a small batch, two amazing whiskeys. They're both Bottle and Bond. Edmund Haynes Taylor Jr. was the champion behind the Bottle and Bond Act. He had a lot of connections. There was a Taylor that was in local government. I think he was, I don't know, he was a bigwig.
Wasn't he a president? Wasn't there a president?
I think so. Yeah, that's right. Ooh, man. But anyway, he had many connections. And so he championed that. And so it passed in 1897. Therefore, they could put it in a bottle. What was in the bottle was controlled, and the proof, and it went into a glass bottle, no plastics. They didn't have stuff like that back then anyway. But the quality and product that you were receiving was 100% what was in the bottle. So your rectifiers, and it said it on the bottle. So your rectifiers and all those people that were adding stuff to it, it put them out of business, as it were, for being able to claim this. So he did an amazing job at championing this law and getting it passed way before food.
That's so funny. I love that.
know, isn't that crazy?
That's so American.
So it is.
It's so American.
When you look at the history
We
of
love our
whiskey,
booze.
we do, and it's such an incredible story that goes as whiskey follows our country. So we thought we'd put a video out today for everybody, since today is a momentous day. Little extra from Durbin's
Got some
Bourbon.
time. Having
do.
a cocktail. I'm having
And-
a 1792 Bottle and Bond. It's delicious.
It is, and that's 1792. Little tidbit of knowledge for you. What is
Taylor
the
worked there, didn't he?
at 17?
Didn't he start there or something?
I don't remember.
Is that
I don't think so.
1792? Is that the one that maybe I'm thinking Buffalo Trace?
He did at Buffalo Trace.
I thought he
Yeah.
came from Anyways, don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
But
I just want to talk.
I forgot my train of thought.
You're welcome.
But that's okay.
But
I'm so
digress.
passionate about Bottle and Bond
Yeah.
products.
They're usually.
that-
I mean, I don't think I've had a bad.
Yeah.
Even like the bottom shelf. What Evan Williams?
Evan
Bottle and
Williams
Bond,
Bottle and Bond.
it's
Great.
not the best, but it's still a good product. Like
It is.
It's bottom shelf basically, but it's better than their regular Evan Williams. So
And Bottle and Bond doesn't necessarily always have to be bourbon.
Right, there's
It can be rye.
Rittenhouse Rye. is a good
Rittenhouse
one.
Rye is a great Bottle and Bond whiskey. I use it all the time in my cocktails. This one is not Rittenhouse. This is Old Overholt. But Rittenhouse Rye is another one. I'm surprised we don't have it up there.
Yeah, I picked that one for some reason. I
it's
kind
a
of picked the
great one.
lineup because there's so many that
Yeah, there's a ton.
I
They're
really
all-
this Old Overholt Bottle and Bond is so much better than the regular Old Overholt, and I don't know,
yeah,
and I don't know why.
Absolutely,
But if you can get your hands on that and you like a rye, it's just a great rye
it is.
for like 20 something bucks.
Yeah, yeah. It's the price wise is great.
And Doc Holliday used to drink it, so
There you go. So much
allegedly.
so that, and my particular drink I'm having is Colonel E.H. Taylor
That's-
Small Batch. We're having them in
One of the
New Orleans
best.
glasses, which have little fins in here. They're easier to drink out of than a Glencairn.
Right.
They are not cheap by any means. They're about $58 for two. They come in a nice sleeve with all the accompaniments, the polishing rag and everything. But
And if you look, you can see there's a glass inside a glass, so you can hold the outside and it doesn't warm up the whiskey.
Right.
Which some people say changes the taste. I don't get that deep into it, but
Right.
I don't know. It's kind of cool. It's a little heftier too. It's a
It
little
is.
easier to grab onto.
It feels light and airy, but it's durable. Another neat thing, I'm so passionate about the Bottle and Bond Act and the state of Kentucky. I went as far as to get a Bottle and Bond Act tattoo.
You gotta
as
put like a
can
little
see.
blurb up there, like stupid tattoo shout out.
There you go.
God,
Is
this
it?
guy
It is not.
copied it from some other dude.
No. I took an amazing tattoo that was cool,
Just kidding.
but I turned it
I
into
gotta
something
give you that.
that I thought
it's
was
lovely.
passionate to me with the state of Kentucky because I love it. But anyway, we don't want to do a video for the Bottle and Bond Act to get it out today.
The illustrated man over here wanted to throw that out there.
I did. Henry McKenna, great Bottle and
Yeah.
Bond, getting more and more difficult to get. It is a 10-year Bottle and Bond,
Mm-hmm.
where the law states it has to be 4 years. They've done a lot more. You can get really good bottles, and you can get really okay bottles.
And nowadays too, the bottle and bond thing. I mean, everything's so regulated. Just even a regular whiskey isn't going to be tampered with like it used to be.
No,
But the
not at
history
all.
of it for both of us whiskey nerds, it's super cool. Just someone thought of doing that
Right.
with booze prior to food. Like,
Right.
I'll eat crap food that's rotten, but
Right.
don't mess with my
Don't
whiskey.
mess with my whiskey, which is it's a beautiful thing,
It's
man.
wonderful.
It just shows how ingrained whiskey is into the country.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
super healthy and good for you.
Yeah. It cures everything.
Yeah, no one's ever had a problem with alcohol, which is
No.
cool. Science.
That's true. It is science. We hope you all have enjoyed this video on this momentous day, March 3rd.
Momentous.
How many years has it been? 1897 to now, what, 120 some years? Are we
97
roughly?
would be 17. Yeah, 120 something.
120 some years since that act was passed.
Wow,
And now we have a plethora of amazing whiskeys produced by all the distilleries. And you can guarantee that when you buy a Bottle in Bond whiskey.
And you can
be it
say
a
bottle
rock-
in bond. It's not a big deal.
You can.
It's like in and out.
Right.
It's the same thing. Doesn't
Right.
matter. Bottled in bond.
Right.
I'm not going to say it like that ever.
Bottle and bond.
Bottle and bond.
You can guarantee
B&B.
you're getting
Bed and
the
breakfast.
most restrictive whiskeys produced in the United States. And we are some of the most restrictive whiskeys in the world. Against Scotch, Irish, and all those, they have restrictions, but they're not nearly as restrictive as U.S. whiskeys. This
Just
is the
bourbon,
restrictest.
really, right?
Yeah,
Because
it is. It's amazing. The Bottle and Bond is the most restricted of the restricted whiskeys in the world. So you're
Right.
getting an amazing product that has a lot of care that goes into it and a lot of laws that focus why it has to be produced, why
which
it is.
started the whole process of now all whiskeys are legit, you know?
Right, yeah.
So that was like the beginning point of like
Yep.
making it
It is.
to where you know you're getting a decent product
Yep.
if it's in a manufacturer's bottle.
Mm-hmm. Because prior to 1897, people would buy barrels of whiskey, and then the rectifiers would take the whiskey out, and they would bottle it, and then they would adulterate it.
Correct.
So after that period, it was a bottled product for the most part, and that's how they controlled it. Mm-hmm. Words of wisdom from Durbin's Bourbon. We hope you've enjoyed this little video. As always, hit the thumbs up and subscribe, please. It helps us grow as a channel. And if you need to know, every Saturday we put out new videos for you all to see. This one's coming out right now
Today.
because it's today. And this is a momentous...
Thursday.
It is.
Thursday, right?
Thursday,
Thursday,
correct.
March 3rd.
2022. Holy cow, the years go by fast.
Oh, God, I'm old. My shoulder just hurt when you said 2022.
What are you going to do? Anyway, we'll wrap this one up for y'all. We hope you've enjoyed any... Oh my gosh.
Any what?
We hope you're enjoying a Bottle and Bond whiskey
Yeah.
today, actually,
As you should.
as you should. And, as always, enjoy your whiskeys and bourbons.
Any way you like.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, pal. That's good.
Boy, that is some good whiskey.